Manda, welcome to my channel. Today we are planning in my catch-all planner for the week of July 3rd through the 9th. I am using the stickers from Tralala Stickers. This comes in a 2 set, so you get like 2 like this and then 2 like this, and you have the blonde girl and the brunette with the slightly darker skin. So I'm going to be using these in my catch-all. I also have, where is it? Here we are. The Functional Chic Red Blooms and Blue Blooms for boxes and other deco and other, functional items that I may need. I really do need to get red and blue box stickers, but I don't want to get sticker books. I have an entire, 2 shelves of stickers right now, of sticker books. On my Billy bookcase, and I'm staring at it right now, that I need to work my way through. So I think I'm probably going to get a printable, and I like that idea better. I'm trying to be kind of a minimalist, and by this hobby does not equal minimalism. So I think I'm going to be starting to transfer to just doing printables. Like printable stickers, especially for things like florals and functional sticker boxes, and making my own. And deco sheets like this. Perfect. So I'm going to pull these out. I have not done my Franken planner yet, so you're going to see that I still have the monthly here. I am getting ahead in my filming so that I'm not so pressed for time when I work on my NaNoWriMo. I think I'm going to use these 2 stickers since I already used the little tassel thing here. But yeah, so at work, I take breaks at work. When I take breaks at work, I read news articles and stuff. And I got suggested to read this one article that was the 12 most useless degrees. And I was rather upset about the list. Mainly because it was literally just a list with no justification. And if there was justification, it was oh, you can't use this degree unless you have a doctorate kind of thing. And I'm like, ew. And so two of the degrees on there I have. I have a double BA in, meaning I double majored in English creative writing and history. The English and history were both on there. And I was livid because they're like, well, you can only use these 2 degrees if you're going to teach history or English. I'm like, oh my gosh, that was the same thought patterns back when I was getting those degrees. Here's the thing. Oh, they had marketing on there too, and psychology. I'm like, well, the reason why they had psychology on there is because you have to have a doctorate, or actually you kind of have to have at least a master's to be a social worker or whatever. Which that going into psychology, that you're gonna have continuing education. But I was so mad. I'm like, looking at the these kind of go. Looking at the article, I was like, well, obviously no one, you didn't have an English major or anything read this thing because it's full of typos. You didn't have anybody copy edit it. And guess who copy edits things? English majors. Obviously you don't know what you're talking about. I was on Business Insider of all things too. I'm like, oh, you were just looking for some clickbait views on this. And I was just like, you don't know what you're talking about. Because here's the thing. I have an English degree and a history degree. I've worked for engineering firms and in project management. I have worked with accounting people. I have worked with nonprofits. And I think like the big thing with this article was like, you're not gonna come out of school and make like oodles and oodles of money. Like if you're come out as a computer programmer, like, yeah, no, you're not gonna make oodles of money being an English major, but you're gonna make money. Like, you're gonna get a job. It's not it's like, people need you. Here's the reason why here's the thing about engineering firms. They don't learn how, like, here's the thing about being someone who has a history degree and an English degree. And then I'll talk about engineering firms. They teach you time management. They teach you how to research, how to think critically about things, which, you know, obviously in this day and age, people are severely lacking both of those abilities. It teaches you time management skills. Another thing, because being a history and English major is a lot of work. It is. I'm not gonna lie. It is a lot of work. It's not like math. Like, ooh, let me do my assignment and be done. Like, no, you got to read a book. Like, you got to read multiple books on multiple like multiple books a week and things like that. Write papers. So yeah, like there are things that are severely lacking among people, specifically, just, sorry, I'm like blanking out because I'm trying to think at the same time as talking. Critical thinking skills, critical thinking and research skills, highly, highly needed. Because obviously this book was not like this article was so short. It was like 5 minutes to read, right? I'm like, obviously you don't know what you're talking about. And I'm like, well, here's the thing. The person who probably wrote this is a journalist. So, and that wasn't on the list. Because journalism is creative writing these days. But yeah, I was just like so mad. I was like, what is wrong with people? Okay, so like, why engineering firms? You're like, oh, engineering firms are like, math and science and things like that. Here's why engineering firms need English majors. They need somebody to read over the reports they have to write. They have to write reports, especially like, they have to write progress reports. They have to write, especially the dirt guys, the geotechs. They have to write reports. And if you don't have somebody to like check that shit, like check the like grammar and stuff like that, you're gonna be like, that's gonna hurt your reputation as a company. And it was my job to do that. Like, they would give me my reports also. Not everybody's first language, especially in engineering, because like the company I worked for had people from all over the world. English is not everyone's first language. People forget that. You may be able to speak and write English perfectly well in emails and in conversation, but when it comes to technical things and stringing sentences together, sometimes they use the wrong tense. Things like that. Like sometimes they just you just use the wrong tense. It happens. I'm like, even I use like the wrong words sometimes. And it's especially when I'm speaking. I'm like, how is this not useful? Like, how is this not useful? People need people. Like, well, This is this is the thought process. I'm like, oh, that's useless. I mean, when I was in college, that was the same thought, is like, this is a useless degree. Why are you getting it? Kind of thing. And I'm like, it's not useless. Because if you don't have people like me, you're going to have gibberish written in textbooks. You're going to have gibberish written in on websites like this. You know, things like that. Like, they just don't get it. And I think, like, the whole thing was gearing towards, like, if it's not I think the whole article, what the article was trying to get at was, these jobs, like, unless you, like, come out of school and can get, like, start making, like, $100,000 a year, which I'll guarantee you will not make with an English degree. But yeah, like, if you don't, like, come out of college and start making bank directly, which as an engineer you do not do either, just saying. But you do kind of quickly, it's like a return on investment, I guess, is what they were trying to do. I'm going to put some of these florals in. These are from the red blooms, even though it has, like, purple in it. Like, nursing degree, like, you pretty much, when you become a nurse, you start making pretty good money. And I think that's what they were trying to get at. But of course, because they think being an English major is useless, they didn't think about that kind of stuff. Like I said, critical thinking skills are important. Think for yourself. Like, this is what my mom always told me, and, like, why I was never, like, really brought up in, like, religion. Because we do, like, we're agnostic. We don't believe in religion, but we, like, believe in God. It's weird. It's not what do you call it? Oh my gosh, the one where you don't believe in God, believe God exists. Oh, my brain is escaping me at the moment. But she said, God gave you a brain. Use it. And I think that's, like, what happens to some people is, like, they forget to use their brain. They just want to be told what to do and things like that. I'm trying to figure out where to put this. Let's put it over here. And then I have another set of strawberries. It's like, if he didn't want you to, if God didn't want you to use your brain, you wouldn't have one. And I thought that was hilarious. My grandma said, like, I'm like, where'd you get that? And I'm like, I don't know, just something I thought of. I'm like, I'm sure my grandpa said something like that, because that sounds like something he would say. But yeah, I mean, there's more useless, like, I was thinking about, like, yeah, there are some useless degrees out there. Like, one of them was, like, anthropology, right? Like, really, all you can really do, unless it's, like, you know, the ones that are, like, geared toward academia, like, anthropology is one, it was, sociology, and, what was it? Not psychology, but philosophy, that's it. You know, things like that are a little more geared towards academia. Yeah, that, you know, like, I can see where, like, yeah, that's kind of useless, because it, like, really, really limits yourself. But I think, especially, like, liberal arts degrees, well, they had, like, theater and film on there too. So I was like, okay, yeah, I get that. I get those. But English, I think English really opens, like, most liberal arts degrees, like English, history, things like that. I think they really open you up to being available for things. Like, you're not cut into a niche, you know what I mean? You're not like, this is what you're going to do. And I guess that's what the article was trying to get out. It's like, this is all you're going to be able to do. I'm like, no, it's not. No, it's not. I highly disagree. So yeah, there are just some people out there, negative Nancy people. Like, it's not like you're just getting a degree in underwater basket weaving. It's not as useless as people think it is. It's actually highly functional and highly needed in the workplace. So here we go. Wow, I'm actually kind of liking it. It's like super, it's a little bit super busy over here. But if I need, I can put some more boxes. I have Monday and Tuesday off of PTO, so that's probably the days I'm going to use. I have a thing here. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So yeah, I'll just say that stupid article made me very upset. I'm like, what is wrong with these people? I would agree, like an art degree, maybe not. A philosophy degree, unless you're going into like religious philosophy, where you're going to become a pastor or something. I can see where that can go. I don't know. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video and my rambling. If you did, give it a like, comment down below, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye.